everybody.
Hey, happy Thank Dog It's Friday. Happy Thank Dog It's Friday. Hi, Sarah. Hi, everybody.
Happy TDIF, everyone. We're so happy to have you here. So I am Hillary Buchholz of We Heart Hounds, and here, as always, with the lovely and talented Patty Quinn.
Patty Quinn, yes, of We Heart Hounds as well. Hi, everybody. It's great to be back. We missed you. Oh my gosh, it was so sad not being there with you last week. But
yeah,
we had fun with the watch party, so I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, very much, and we hope you had a lovely Thanksgiving. And we would love to see pictures and stories about any of the activities that you guys did. So that would be fantastic.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. It was Ginger's first Thanksgiving, so we were super excited. Spoiled or rotten. And she loved those Thanksgiving dinner treats that we made. Oh my gosh, like she was in seventh heaven. Like I saved a bunch of them for her on Thanksgiving holiday, and oh my gosh, she would do anything for those. It was adorable.
Yeah, my husband started calling him puppy crack because Leon was like insisting. I know there's more in the refrigerator. Why aren't you giving them to me?
Oh, it was a fun holiday. It was a fun holiday. So this is
great.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being with us here today. We're so happy to be live with you.
So with the holidays, we are moving into a little bit more Christmas. And so this week we're going to be making a Woofmas Burlap Wreath. So we have a little bit of a dog themed burlap wreath that we'll be making. And to start out with, we have a very fun, I think very cute printable that we've created that has the "We Woof You a Merry Christmas" sign. So this is a PDF that you can download in order to make this little sign.
Yeah, we made it custom just for you.
Yes.
You can't get it anywhere else. Hillary used her amazing talents and put this together. I'm so proud of her. It was so fun. I love this. It's so cool.
So yeah, I think it really does turn out cute, and it's got a really kind of farmhouse country feel to it. That's sort of the style that we're going with. And I have the buffalo check plaid behind it, and you'll see a few more of the elements that we're using, some of that buffalo check and that kind of country theme that we're working with. So what you'll do with your printable is just go ahead and print it out. I would recommend like a cardstock thick paper, not super, super thin paper would be my only recommendation there. And then I have a sort of white outline around the whole thing. On mine, I used some foam core to cut out the shape, but you could also, as Patty's done, just cut out a circle shape or something that's simpler if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. And on yours, you're actually using a wood form. So
I am, yeah. Mine's on a piece of wood, just a real thin piece. You can get these at Walmart or any hobby store. I actually cheated. We have a little my husband and I have a little workshop, so I just cut out a small piece myself. But you can buy these really easily, just a real thin piece, and then printed it out. And I ended up printing it so that I could put a larger piece, just slightly larger piece in a solid burgundy color, and then layered that on top so that I've got a little bit of a background. Hillary went above and beyond with her buffalo check, really fancy. And I love that it's the shape of a paw print, which is really kind of cool as well.
So one of the things that you'll want to, if you want to use a plaid, whatever plaid that you want, or the buffalo check, just a piece that's large enough. This happens to be cloth that I have in the background of mine. But if you found a gift bag that had the buffalo check, or wrapping paper, again, or craft paper, as thick a paper as you can get is probably going to work well. Because what we're going to do is just Mod Podge. So you Mod Podge the background, whatever piece, onto your base, and then do a thin layer of Mod Podge over the top of that, and then lay in your sign on top of that, and again Mod Podge the whole thing. Then let it dry completely, because that's a fair number of layers of Mod Podge where things can kind of shift around. So just give it enough time to really dry before you try to add it to the rest of your wreath. So that would be my tips for the sign portion.
Yeah. And it's nice that you can customize it to whatever color scheme you want to do,
Yeah.
or you can make it as simple or as intricate as we, we're showing here, which is kind of nice.
So then the next part is getting a wire frame. This one is a little smaller than what I would recommend. This is a 14-inch, but I would say 16-inch or above would be ideal, just for the different elements that we're adding in here. But to show you real quick, I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a tutorial on how to actually loop the burlap through. So I have my little wire frame, and then I have a little bit left of my roll of burlap here. And what you'll do is unroll a little bit.
And there's a top and the bottom to the frame, right?
Yes.
So
you can,
if
hopefully
you've
you
never
can
worked with them
see.
before, there's like a rounded.
There's an arch on the front side.
Okay.
And then the back side dips in here.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. And what you're going to do. No. Thank you. Just to add it to the frame easily, you're going to quarter this, and then what I'm using is just a little bread tie to tie it on to your innermost wire here on your frame. And this will get covered up, so you don't have to be too concerned about how you're tying it or how you're adding it. You can also use hot glue. That would work totally fine. So wire, hot glue. You could also, go ahead.
I even actually just tied it like you did, kind of fold it in half and fold it in the end in half again so it's small, and then wrap it around and literally just tie the burlap to the wire frame. That works just fine too. You get a pretty fat knot, but honestly, you don't see it when it's all said and done. It gets hidden in the background. So
here we have our burlap, and then all you do is loop this through your first section and leave it
coming up from the bottom up to the top, right?
Yep.
Up to the, yeah.
So you can kind of see there.
Uh-huh.
And leave it completely wide and open while you're just adding in the loops. And then just do that there's 3 sections of this wire frame. So add in another loop here. And then our third one.
And those loops are about 2 to 3 inches tall, right? Or, roughly. You can make them longer or shorter.
And they definitely don't have to be, don't get too hung up on making them absolutely uniform, because it'll really just kind of come together as you start to fill out the rest of the wreath.
Yeah. And honestly, mine were never uniform. Not even from the beginning. Yours look really pretty from the way mine started.
So then the next thing that you're going to do is just kind of take these and bunch them up down to, there's these sections. I'm just bunching it into this like bar here.
Yeah.
Yep. And then on the back side, if you can see, I'm just going to take this and twist it a fair number of times, like 3 or 4 times, I would say. And then kind of hold that tight, hold your twist tight, and then just start again at this bottom portion and pull it through.
Yeah. And what that twisting does is it actually anchors the loops, the poofs that you're making, so that they don't easily fall out. And then as you go, that twist actually also helps fill in and kind of solidify those poofs, so they're not moving around a whole bunch either. So it's nice. They prevent them from falling through, and they also kind of keep them in place.
So here's my second one, and you just squish it down again.
Yep.
And then twist again. Okay. And I would say, depending on the size of your frame, probably about 3 loop sections
series
per kind of anchor bars here
between the divider bars. Okay.
Yep.
That works. Yeah.
And you can start to see how it comes together, and I'll show
Yeah,
you.
it looks so pretty when it's done.
Show you on the have completed.
So yeah, that looks so pretty. These look adorable. Really nice. And we would have done this with you guys, but it probably takes a good, what, half hour maybe?
20 minutes,
20
maybe.
minutes to a
Yeah.
half hour?
Yeah.
Okay, I had a big learning curve. And I ran out of burlap, so I had to go get more.
That'll definitely add in a little time.
Go figure. But yeah, they're just gorgeous. I mean, they really turn out so stunning. I mean, you can put anything to them. Obviously, we're going to embellish them here in the next minute or two, but these are just so beautiful. I mean, just a simple, easy technique to get really stunning wreath, which is really sweet, which is nice.
And as Patty mentioned, you can kind of embellish them with whatever you want. And even just a simple bow would be beautiful on this, and just leaving it really simple. We're obviously doing a little bit more than that because we have our sign and things like that that we're going to add in. So I think the next place to start, I like to lay in the embellishments, so you kind of have an idea before you start gluing anything. Just kind of lay it out and figure out your placement of your different items.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I'm going to start over here with my sign and just kind of lay it down where I think it'll go. And then I also have this buffalo check bow that I'll be adding in.
That's really cute. And I had some ribbon, buffalo check ribbon, and I just made myself a bow.
That's lovely. Yeah.
And then I'll cut the lengths when I'm, once I've got it on there and I know
once you see.
Like. Yeah.
And I think it does look nice. We have kind of large objects that are that we're putting on this wreath, so it's kind of nice to anchor them a little bit diagonally. Our bows, as you'll notice, Patty and I both are putting our bow at kind of a 11 o'clock as opposed to right in the center at 12 o'clock. But when you lay yours out, you can do it however you'd like. Just before you start gluing, lay it out, figure out what you think the placement will be.
Okay.
And then to continue on with our dog theme.
Aren't these adorable? Oh my gosh, they're so cute. We found these at Walmart. They're Christmas ornaments.
Yep, these are so cute.
So precious. And then I just swapped out the collar. I just wanted mine to have a little bit of a white collar so you could see the Christmas bow and bell on it. And so I just used a ribbon and just super glued or hot glued it on that has little paw prints for my collar.
And we did swap out because we're putting them on a different direction. So our bows were originally on the other side, but they're pretty easy to just, even if you had to cut the whole thing off and just tie a new bow, it wouldn't be that difficult. So you can kind of embellish them as you need to.
Exactly. And I was telling Hillary, I just noticed this morning the little bell on the doggy has a little bone-shaped hole in it, which is just, I don't know why I just thought that is so cute.
It is adorable.
What a cute idea. So cute. Really sweet.
And then the last thing that we'll be adding is just a little bit of greenery. And you can kind of add as much or as little. So I have these little berries, pine cones. These I got at Walmart, I believe, as well.
Some berries. And I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. So just some pine needles and some berries, which are cute.
But once you kind of have an idea of how you're going to be placing your items, then you can start your combining process. And I think I'll start with the bow, if that
that sounds great.
All right.
That sounds good. Got my hot glue gun all fired up and ready to go. And these are sweet. You can hang these indoors or outdoors. Obviously, if you're hanging it outdoors, it's best to have it in a protected area if you can, just so things don't blow off or the rain and snow don't get to it.
Yep.
But
hopefully if it's on your front door, hopefully you have a little bit of protection from, I know we get a fair amount of wind here where I'm at, but we get a lot of wind here where I'm at. I'm underselling the amount of wind that we get. But so far our wreaths have held up. I have lost a couple little items off of the wreath that I could pick back up and glue back on, but hopefully you have a little bit of protection for them.
Yeah. All right. So going that down. And I think I'm going to hang mine over the fireplace. So
that would be beautiful.
Yeah, that'll be real pretty. So I get to see it every day. All right. And then I'm going to tuck my sign in. And mine's a lot heavier than yours because I used wood, so I'm going to use a lot of hot glue.
Yeah. And I used foam core on mine. The other suggestion I have, if you decide to use foam core, is don't try to cut the shape out of the foam core with scissors. It tends to just bend foam core when you try to cut with scissors.
Right.
So I would recommend a box cutter or an X-Acto blade or something like that. Makes it a lot easier, but you could also use cardboard or something just to kind of stiffen up that sign. So whatever makes it easy.
So I'm just going to show, hopefully my sign doesn't fall off, but show kind of the placement of the larger pieces so you get an idea. So again, this is kind of the bow's kind of at 10 or 11 o'clock, and we've got the sign kind of tucked at 5 o'clock. You want to kind of balance the weight and have a nice placement for your larger items so they're not competing if they're right next to each other.
Yeah. And you can kind of, as you might be able to see on mine, you can kind of manhandle it a little bit once you're once you're kind of taking your greenery and trying to get it in place. You can really kind of dig into that burlap a little bit if you need to, push it down, that sort of thing.
That's cute. Okay. And the greenery is fun. You can just really just let your imagination fly, really.
Yeah. And there's so many great, you don't need a ton. You can, have one little, I don't know, I think they call them picks from Walmart or a couple of them from the Dollar Tree. Those ones, they're usually not quite as full, but, then just break that pick apart to add your different pieces and kind of repurpose it.
And mine's on some pretty thick wire, so I've got wire cutters for mine. Let's see. Cute.
So here's my top part.
Oh, yeah, those look really pretty. I really like that embellishment. The greenery and the pine cones and everything. All right, so I'm just tucking some pine needles under my bow. All right, these are so fun. You really can do anything.
Yeah, you can definitely customize them for whatever your decor is or however you're decorating for the holidays.
Well, the burlap, excuse me, is just a nice backdrop. You can go really, really modern, or you could go really, really rustic with it. You know, it's really, and obviously color scheme. So it's really makes a beautifully stunning base for whatever embellishments you want to add.
Yeah.
So I've got some greenery tucked in under my bow. All right.
I'm just
berries. And it's cute. I got these berries that match kind of that buffalo check. So there's like a dark red and a lighter red. Oh, wow. That's stunning. Yeah, that's gorgeous. That's really pretty, Hillary.
So yeah, as you just keep on adding in, and you can kind of go as much or as little as you want. So you can stop where you'd like as far as the embellishments go. But I'm gonna try to move over and start working on my sign portion. Do have one more pine cone to add here.
There we go. So when you're layering things, you want to kind of start with the biggest pieces and then add the smaller pieces in kind of as accent points, just as kind of a tip when designing. And usually elements in threes or odd numbers work out well. Yeah.
And different kinds of texture really tend to help. So like the berries would be one type of texture, a pine cone is another type of texture, and then your greenery is another. So kind of layering those in, so those different types of texture really make for a more kind of cohesive and
Right. Kind of well-rounded.
Yeah. All right. So as you're doing this, once you have your kind of bow laid out, then be sure to rearrange on your table or your work surface or wherever so that you have your bow at that 11 o'clock spot that you wanted originally before you start placing in your sign. So you know where your placement's going to work.
I've got little hot glue spider webs everywhere.
I've got the fuzz from the burlap and the fuzz from the greenery. And
all right. Just holding mine up just to see. I'm going to probably add a little more around the bow here in a bit.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
But it's coming along. I've got my little doggy glued. And my leaf and berries were kind of separate, so they take a little bit more time to do. And I'll trim the bow a little bit so that it's not dangling quite so much. But it looks kind of cute.
That's really cute.
Yeah, it's turning out really nicely.
I'm adding a fair amount of glue to my dog. So hopefully that'll hold him on there in the wind.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got that wind to deal with.
But he's nice and light. So that's a recommendation you could do a different ornament or a different dog embellishment, whatever you wanted. But I would go with something that's a little bit more on the light side and possibly not breakable, just in case it does
Yeah.
come off. You can reattach it if need be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So I just trimmed the bow.
oh, that looks
So
gorgeous.
it's a little, I'll probably add a little bit more around the bow in terms of the greenery and berries and all that kind of stuff. Play with it a little bit. But these are just so cute. These are just so adorable. Really fun. Yeah, yours turned out really sweet. And it's fun to see the different style.
Yeah.
Just small little touches, right? You can make your own little changes to match your personality or, like I said, your decor.
Yeah. And
pretty.
With this buffalo check, obviously the buffalo check is really popular this year, but you could also do black and white buffalo check and just having a black and white sign. So yeah, really sky's the limit on how you want to customize these. But I do think that burlap as a backdrop and sort of that rustic country feel, it just turns out beautiful.
I love it. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this with the burlap and that technique. And I'm really impressed. It's really not hard to do. Obviously you need enough burlap. You don't want to run out like I did. But
so, with that being said, we both got burlap from Walmart, and then you also got one from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
The Walmart ones are a little bigger, so it took about 2 rolls. I had a little bit left of that second roll. So that kind of gives you an idea of, as far as materials, what you might need.
Yours was an 18-inch and mine's a 16-inch. So I have a little bit smaller wreath. And so mine took one of the smaller Hobby Lobby burlap rolls and one of the almost double the size at Walmart that you get. And that worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
So yeah, really fun.
That's very sweet of you to say.
Oh, hi, Georgie. Thank you, Georgie. Oh, you're gonna make us blush. We have a lot of fun with these wreaths, and we're planning on doing more. So stay tuned for our Thank Dog It's Fridays every month. We're hopefully gonna do one a month. That would be fun to do. These are they turn out so pretty, and honestly, you will find these easily for $50, $100 or more dollars. And, for a few dollars and a little bit of time, it's so easy. You will impress your guests as they come at the door for the holidays, and certainly family and friends.
Yeah.
And
they make a beautiful gift too, because they are so impressive. They look so much more elegant and expensive than the actual pieces and parts that it took to put together. So
yeah,
I definitely think this would be a beautiful handmade gift for someone as well.
Perfect for the holidays. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Hillary. This is a fun one. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to have fun finishing up the last little touches that I have. And we've got a tutorial. Be sure to go to the tutorial because it will have a link to print this little printable sign. And you can have a lot of fun. If you don't want to make a wreath out of it, if you just want to do the sign itself, you're welcome to do that. That's one of our many little gifts that we're getting for you this holidays. Thank you again so much for all of you, each and every one of you. We really appreciate you all and really enjoy this time together. So I'm so happy we're back together again live. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye-bye. I got my little sleepy girl. I was going to wake her up, but I'll let her sleep. Yeah, bye, everybody.